Game 72 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season. I'm Zack Phillips, and today we'll be breaking down what to expect for tonight's Maple Leafs game against the San Jose Sharks. We'll dig into tonight's line combinations, who the starting goalie is, what we're expecting for power play, penalty kill, and we'll get into our best bets segment, a presentation of Bet365. But let's not waste any time. Let's go right to it and see what we've got for our forward lines here tonight, courtesy of Daily Faceoff. That's where you should be going to get all your updated lineups, line informations, who's playing with who, who's out, who's in, all that stuff. It's over on Daily Faceoff. So taking a look here today, and today it will be a little bit more rapid fire, just given what we had the other day for the Maple Leafs against the Flyers has not changed too much here tonight against the Sharks. And I mean, why would it? It feels like you should probably run that back given the success that you had. So taking a look at the lines here, you've got a first line, Nyes, Matthews, and Marner. I mean, no surprise there, as much as these guys get broken apart and everybody moves onto different lines and they play with different people, and Mitch and Austin spread out and you try to balance out the lineup, they always end up back together, as they did over the last couple of games. And here you go, and that is how they will be here tonight against San Jose. So that first line stays together. Now you go down to your second line, McMahon, Tavares, and Nylander. Look, they've kind of rotated in and out of who goes on that line on the left wing between Holmberg. We've seen Yarncroke go in there at times. We saw Lawton take turns. We see McMahon now, who seems to have found himself a nice spot, and I don't anticipate him coming out anytime soon. Nylander and Tavares have been dialed in. Over the last couple of weeks, the best line, or the best two guys who have kind of helped contribute to make a line, have been Nylander and Tavares. Nylander now hitting 40 goals for a third consecutive season, becoming only the fourth Maple Leaf player to do so, and joining Lanny McDonald, Rick Vaive, and Austin Matthews, which is pretty cool company to be in. I mean, you watch these guys, you watch them over and over, year in, year out. As frustrating as the playoffs may be, it is kind of cool to see the regular season records just being broken by guys who are on the team right now, because at some point when they're gone and we look back, we're all going to say, wow, we got to watch that in real time. Now, the playoff success is something that has yet to be there, but what they do in the regular season is pretty cool. The one thing that I will give credit to William Nylander for saying, and kind of stepping up and being the one guy on this Leafs team who always kind of is willing to make these statements and lay his nuts on the line and say these things. They were asking him what it was like to score 40 goals and how difficult that is to do, and he said, I'm just doing what I'm paid to do. Paraphrasing that a little bit, but I mean, just the swagger this guy carries is pretty sick. Stays alongside McMahon and John Tavares here tonight, and I don't see any reason why they would change tonight or moving forward. Your third line is going to be Scott Laughton, Max Domi, and Nick Robertson. Now, against the Flyers, I thought Scott Laughton started to look a little bit better. I know because there's no points there, people are like, really ready to jump down this guy's throat and get mad at him for the lack of production. And I've seen comments like, worst trade ever made, this guy is worse than Connor Dewar, overpaid, Brad Treliving's an idiot. I'm seeing a lot of this kind of stuff when it comes to Scott Laughton and the trade that was made for Scott Laughton. I personally think it's unfair. I don't think that these are, accurate assessments of who he is as a player. I think that how he's performed here has been underwhelming. I'm not impressed at all. But I think that Scott Laughton's going to turn this around. Being on this line with Domi and Robertson, I'm hoping that he's able to find some type of a groove. Maybe build some chemistry here, get some energy in his legs. And then, hopefully now he's a little while into his tenure here. He's got some games under his belt, but most importantly, he's got some film sessions. He's got some practice under him here, and he can start to figure this out and start to show why they went and traded those pieces for Scott Laughton. Could be proven wrong, and long term, yeah, this is a terrible trade. It didn't work out. Scott Laughton does not transfer here. It just does not match with what they've got here on this team, the systems that they want to play, Craig Berube as a coach. Like, maybe all those things come to fruition, but I'm not really ready to just write off Lawton and say he's a terrible player. I don't think that Scott Lawton was overvalued. I think Scott Lawton was a great player in Philly. I mean, I'm listening to Kevin Kurtz of The Athletic, who covers the Flyers, and he's talking about the fact that the Flyers start losing, and it's directly correlated to Scott Lawton leaving. You can look at the day he left, the vibe around the room, how things have changed, the way that guys hold themselves. Like it's become a different factor, a different outlook after Scott Lawton left. I don't think there's a coincidence there. I think it's only a matter of time before we start seeing that here in Toronto, before he warms himself up to the room, before he starts to be a guy who can step in and be like, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do every day, and I'm going to show that. I'm going to show that I'm this type of player. I expect Scott Lawton to turn things around. I feel like a line like this could help him do so because they can just provide energy, and Scott Lawton can kind of benefit alongside that. Down to your fourth line, Steven Lorentz, David Kampf, Calle Jarnkrok. No change from the other day. I mean, look, you kind of got a mismatch of players here. I think that Berube really likes Jarnkrok. I think Tree Living really likes Jarnkrok. I don't mind Jarnkrok as long as he's in your bottom six. Like, once you're starting to put this guy up on second line left wing, I think that's when it's kind of alarm bells are ringing for me, and I'm starting to go, what the hell are we doing right now? But Calle Jarnkrok in your bottom six is fine. He's a guy who can kind of win minutes and do some good things and play in some different types of roles, whether it's in the D zone, if it's in the neutral zone, if it's in transition. Like, he can do a lot of that stuff. He can find ways to provide offense. I like Calle Jarnkrok. I like him a lot better in the bottom six. Look at David Kampf. I mean, the guy found the back of the net the last game. He gets out of the lineup. He's sitting in the press box for a while, jumps back in. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa, where was this guy? Steven Lorentz as well. Specifically, I mean, you look at that game against Colorado, finds a way to get on the board. If you get some contributions, Steven Lorentz has been a reliable player all season long. I will say that. A very reliable player. I thought he looked good against Philly the other night as well. Even in the game against Nashville where the team stunk, I thought Lorentz was fine. Like, I feel like this is a guy that you know what you're going to get every single night. Is he going to take over a game? No. Is he going to be the reason you win or lose? I don't think he's the reason you lose. If he steps up and all of a sudden he has a massive game, he could be the reason you win. Like, he could have a hero game, but you're not expecting that of Steven Lorentz. I think he's been consistent. I think that he deserves to keep his spot in the lineup here yet again. Those are your forward lines for tonight's Maple Leafs. Down to your defensive pairings. And again, we'll take a look at the defensive pairings courtesy of Daily Faceoff. And we'll take a look at the power play units here as well. You're going to end up with a first pairing of Morgan Rielly and Brandon Carlo, Jake McCabe and Chris Tanev on your second, Benoit and OEL on your third. I really have nothing to add here. Morgan Rielly, again, still would like him to be better. He did score the faux goal against the Flyers the other day into the empty net after the Marner goalie interference situation. But still, Morgan Rielly, he's got to be better. He's got to step up his play. He's got to be a consistent guy. Right now, just hasn't been. His partner has been. Morgan Rielly has not been. The rest of the guys, I think, speak for themselves. The rest of the four have been very, very good. Brandon Carlo as well. So the rest of the five have been very, very good. Those are your defensive pairings for tonight. In terms of what we've got for power play and penalty kill, first unit, we're sticking with the 5-forward unit. Second unit, we've got Bobby McMahon, Max Domi, Nick Robertson, OEL, Morgan Rielly. Again, no changes there. PK, no change on that one either. David Kampf and Mitch Marner go as your first unit. Your starting goalie for tonight is Joseph Woll. He was in the starters net this morning. I mean, I think that makes sense just based on the rotation you're running. You're trying to figure out who's going to be the guy who can step up. Joseph Woll has been pretty good in his last appearances. Stolars, yes, he was good the other night, but Joseph Woll, I think, is going to just continue to get some of these opportunities and probably be leaned upon a little bit as your starting guy for the time being. So that is where we're at for tonight's lineup as per our best bet segment. Well, breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app and use the code NATION, NATION, to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Okay, our best bet segment here. We've lost the last couple, so let's look to dial it in here now and get on the right track. We have lost 4 in a row. That would include Domi anytime goal against Colorado, Nylander anytime goal against New York, John Tavares over 2.5 shots on goal against the Preds, and then obviously Scott Laughton anytime goal against the Flyers. Now, for tonight, we're going to go with 2 best bets for you, and both of them are going to be over at Bet365. And we are up on the season, $491 in profit this year, 4.91 units. We are up on the season. We're going to look to continue that and see if we can get ourselves back in the right direction after these last 4 losses. It has been a successful season profit-wise here. We're going to try it with 2 best bets and 2 goal scorer bets. So let's start with the first one here. The first best bet of the night. Again, go over to the Bet365 page, Leafs San Jose. We don't have to go too far down the page. We're going to find John Tavares, anytime goal, plus 200 at $50. We're going to go half unit on this, $50. Profits you here tonight, 100. After that, we're going to go with another one, and this one's a little bit more for fun, but again, it's an even better price than what we had against the Flyers the other night, and it's against a team that I think is almost possibly worse. We're going to roll down towards the plus 600, 700 range. We're going to find Scott Laughton, plus 700, anytime goal, $10 on this, profits you $70. So, that is $60 total bet here tonight. $50 on Tavares plus 200, $10 on Laughton plus 700, $70 total risked. Separate bets, but if both hit tonight, we will profit $170. Those are our best bets for tonight's game. If you did enjoy this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, turn on notifications right here on the Leafs Nation 401. We appreciate you watching. I want to know what your thoughts are. Who's scoring? Who's not? Who's winning? What's the score? What are your best bets? Drop them all in the comments below. I will be back for another edition of Leafs Nation After Dark following tonight's Leafs game right here on this channel. Yes, it'll be a late one, but we will be here on the channel. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you always for watching. See you guys tonight. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.